welcome in. People will run game on you if you let them, so be careful. I didn't even like math in school because to me, and this is just my opinion, it was just a bunch of trickery. I love the subjects of reading and writing because it was more direct and it was straight to the point. What you're reading is in front of you. It's a fact. When you're dealing with numbers and switching things all around, and it could be this answer. Oh, but there's a decimal here, and oh, you divide it by. I didn't like all of that. It was too much. It was doing too much. Just let's get to the point. And that's why I particularly did not care for math in school. That's just how much I don't like to be tricked. My point being, I don't like anyone or nothing trying to trick me. And in order to live your best life, you have to get away from the trickery. Why? Because it is deceiving. If you're around people who are consistently deceiving you, it's not good. Seek truth. Seek truth tellers, people who are real, because the lies grow. And at the end of the day, you're a grown adult. Why are you doing so much lying? It's a cover-up. It's a facade. And it shows lack of confidence. Because if you were confident in who you are, there is no need to spread a bunch of lies. And also, it's hard to keep up with. The lies are hard to keep up with. When people are telling one group of people one lie, and then another group of people another story, and it becomes too much to keep up with. And often, that's how a liar gets caught, because they've told multiple stories, multiple different versions of a story. And you can scope it out and kind of put two and two together and come to the conclusion that the person is lying based on the various stories that you hear. So anyway, why do people run game? Number one, because they suffer from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when a person doubts their own intellect. They doubt their own abilities. So if someone is doubting themselves, it's hard for them to be truthful because they don't even know who they are or where they're coming from. And again, that goes back to the lying. Someone who has imposter syndrome may tell these big lies, okay, because it's who they want to be. They know that they're not this type of person. They know that they don't do these things, but they doubt themselves and they don't think that they are good enough. So they tell these bogus lies in hopes that it makes them appear greater than what they are. Number two, people run game as a way to be passive aggressive over being straightforward. So when a person is straightforward, they're calling things out and they're like, hey, why did you say this? Or hey, why did you do this? A passive aggressive person will roll their eyes, buck their eyes, suck their teeth, be bothered. But if you ask them, are they bothered? They'll fake a smile and say, oh, no, I'm not bothered. Instead of just having an adult conversation. They'll pretend to be okay with things when they're really not. But then they'll do little sneaky things to try to get you back for the things that they're mad of. And it's never really any outward opposition, but there's little underhanded things that the passive aggressive person will do. Number three, a person will try to run game because it's in them. They're liars. Again, some people are just born telling lies. I have a few relatives who are known liars. Why? Because their mama was a liar. And it's hereditary. They pass it down. It's not like it's in their DNA per se, but it's a learned behavior. That's why I say it's hereditary, because it's passed down. If their parent is telling lies all the time, then they see that and they think it's okay to tell lies. And I mean, just stupid lies, lies that don't even have to be told. So some people, I say it's in them. It's in them because they were born telling fibs, white lies, lies, and it just grows over time. Number 4, because they can get away with it. In my book, Bouncing Back After Breakup, I talk about how my grandfather has this saying, when you see a lemon, squeeze it. When you see a lemon, squeeze it. Okay? A big, fat, juicy lemon is sitting there, and you want some lemonade. What you gonna do? Squeeze it. A big, fat person is sitting there, believing everything you say. Okay, keep lying to them. Because if a person can get away, they're going to do it. Now, if they're around someone who calls them out, they're going to be a little more apprehensive to tell the lie, or they're going to come correct with their game because they know that they're going to get questioned and doubted. But most often, people are running game and lying because they can. 99% of folks, and that's not an accurate number that I just quoted. I'm just saying, when I say 99%, I mean a lot of people. A lot of people ain't hip to it, okay? A lot of people will sit back and just listen to a person talk and believe everything they say and not question it. A lot of people. And then they'll repeat it to an inquisitive person like myself or a few other people, and we'll question it and say, well, that don't really add up. Or we may just hear it and keep notes in our head and not say a word because the lies ain't adding up. Number 5, people run game because they're phony. They're not who they pretend to be. And this goes right back to number 1 with the imposter syndrome. They try to pretend like they're one way, but they're not. The phoniness is in them, which could tie back to number 3, again, about being raised by a phony parent. That could make you, in turn, phony because it is learned behavior. And number 6, they want to take your spot. People run game because they want to be where you're at. So they need to run their game and tell their lies so that they can get next to you and close to you so they can kind of steal your sauce, so to speak. They want to steal the blueprint. And they know that they can only do that by staying in your, and I'm throwing up air quotes here, good graces. Now, they may not like you, they may not care for you, but it's no way that they can copy the blueprint if they're not in proximity to you. So they have to place themselves around you. Therefore, it forces them to run game on you, to pretend. Running game is about pretending to be someone you're not, to achieve a certain goal that person is after. They're doing things with a motive in mind. Now, can you make it through this life without a single person running game on you? Probably not. Does it hurt when you found out you've been played or you've had game run on you? Yes, it does, no matter which way you spring it. But you can watch out for the signs, the red flags. Take these notes into consideration and know that not one of these reasons, the 6 reasons that I gave for why people run game, not one of them were personal to the person who is getting gamed. Not one of those reasons were personal. In fact, all of them had to do with the person who is actually running the game. So what does that tell you? That tells you that it is not personal. So do not take the game personal. We're living in a world, unfortunately, where it's kind of every man for himself, so to speak. Every man for themselves. And even though there are some of us who were raised the total opposite of that, we have to be hurt first, yes, of course, but then over time, we have to learn how to navigate in a world where most people are every man for themselves. And we learn over time that, okay, everyone's not raised like me. So I can't be out here operating as if everyone was raised like me. And I'm not saying that anybody is perfect. I'm just telling it how it is. Empaths are outnumbered. If you didn't know, now you know. Empaths are outnumbered. There are not a whole lot of people who are going to put themselves in someone else's shoes to actually try to feel or think about how another person would feel. They're just not going to do it. They are thinking what benefits them. Now, my problem comes in when they're trying to do it at the expense of you or at the expense of me. So that is why I want to stress that to preserve yourself, I'm all about self-preservation. And to preserve yourself, you have to be on the lookout for folk who are looking to get into your life to run game on you. It is inevitable. It will happen. But you can't let these people suck your energy dry. You can't let them drain the good parts of you. Once you recognize that it's game, move along. Move along. Pivot. Walk away. Turn away. Turn your back. Just get away from it. Get away from the game. If you want to call it out, that's on you. If you don't want to call it out, exit stage left. Because people will run game on you. Y'all be safe.